All right, let's get right into it. The world of music is being turned upside down by artificial intelligence. And that brings up a huge question. In this new world, how do we actually fund, protect, and govern the act of creating music? Today, we're going to look at one potential answer, a system called the Mirror Protocol. And we need an answer like yesterday, because right now, the moral center of the music world is completely drifting. You've got AI models training on artists' work with zero transparency. Creators are terrified of being replaced. Huge companies are staring down billion-dollar lawsuits. And the courts, they have no idea how to rule on any of it. It's total creative and legal chaos. And this isn't some small fringe issue. When tools like ChatGPT suddenly made this tech available to literally everyone, it was a genuine iPhone moment. I mean, 1 million users in just 5 days. That kicked off a global gold rush that the music industry was just not ready for at all. So this chaos has basically created two massive global competitions happening at the exact same time. And the crazy part? There's no unified set of rules for either one. So on one side, you have this all-out sprint for innovation. It's a mad dash to build the future faster and bigger than anybody else. And on the other side, you got this slow, messy marathon for control, where governments and entire industries are just scrambling to figure out how to regulate a technology that's moving at the speed of light. And you know, this innovation race is playing out in really fascinating ways geopolitically. You've got China playing a numbers game, filing an absolutely massive volume of AI patents. The US, on the other hand, is focusing more on foundational patents, those core breakthrough ideas that everything else gets built on top of. Two totally different strategies in the same high-stakes race. And while that sprint is happening, the marathon for control is, well, it's a mess. The EU is working on its AI Act, China has some rules in place, but everywhere else, it's just a patchwork of pending or fragmented ideas. The bottom line is, there is no single global rulebook for AI. So smack in the middle of this chaotic, two-race world, a really clear strategy starts to emerge. Instead of just trying to win one race or the other, what if you could change the game completely? What if you patent the process itself? You gotta love this metaphor, right? In a gold rush, don't just dig for gold. Patent the shovel. It just makes it so clear. The real, lasting power doesn't come from finding one nugget. It comes from owning the one essential tool that everyone needs to dig. Owning the process is the ultimate advantage. See, patenting a process is such a powerful move because you're competing in both races at once. It's a fundamental act of innovation for sure. But in a world with no rules, it also becomes a way of writing your own rules, of setting a standard where none exists. And that brings us to the specific shovel being proposed for the AI music world. It's called the Mirror Protocol, and it's designed to be the moral and technical operating system that the industry so desperately needs. So at its core, the protocol works kind of like the DNA of a song. It's got 3 key layers. First is provenance, which tracks who did what, when they did it, and what tools they used. Then you've got attribution, to make sure every single contributor gets credited, whether they're human or AI. And finally, value, to automatically and fairly pay royalties to everyone who is involved. But it goes so much deeper than just those 3 layers. This is a system built from the ground up for trust, with a really comprehensive governance structure. For example, it's got layers like human-engaged inventorship verification to make sure a person is always credited in the process, and an ethical redirection layer to actually prevent the tech from being misused. Fairness and security are baked right in. And look, this isn't just a cool idea on a slide. The foundation for this is real. What you're looking at is the actual acknowledgement receipt from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office for a provisional patent filed by the inventor, Bruce Edward Smith. This is the first official step in making this system a reality. So really, this all brings us to a pretty stark choice between 2 possible futures. Without a system like this, the chaos just gets worse. Endless copyright battles, creators losing their rights, and AI developing with no moral compass. But with a patented standard, human creators get protected, courts get a legal benchmark to work with, and AI gets a moral foundation to build on. Which brings us to the practical side of things. How does an idea this big go from a patent filing to a global standard? Well, it starts with a clear development roadmap, and that of course requires funding to build it. The plan is laid out in 4 really distinct phases. It's a step-by-step process to take this from a legal foundation all the way to a full-blown system launch. Okay, so the first step is the most critical one, and it requires $100,000. This money isn't for software or hiring a big team, it's for establishing the legal bedrock. You see, that provisional patent we saw earlier, that's kind of like a placeholder. It secures your spot in line. This funding is for the full US non provisional patent application. That's the detailed official filing that makes the whole idea legally defensible. It's the foundation for everything that comes next. And once that foundation is set, the roadmap gets really exciting. The next milestone is to get global protection through international patent filings. After that, the funding goes toward building out the team and creating a working prototype. And the final goal? To launch the full system and a global initiative to support creators everywhere. Ultimately, this whole project, from the patent to the protocol, it's really an attempt to answer what is, and I'm not exaggerating, a $1 trillion question that's facing not just music, but our entire society. And the question is this: innovation is speeding up at an exponential rate. Can our ability to govern it, to write the rules for safety, for ethics, for basic human values, can it possibly keep up? The future isn't going to be defined by just passing laws. It's going to be defined by taking concrete action. And a system like the Mirror Protocol is being proposed as exactly that kind of action.